Okay. Okay, I'll call to order the October 13th meeting of the Rules Committee. First item is approval of August 11th, 2025 minutes. Do I have a motion to approve?
Motion to approve those.
Motion. And a second. And a second. Any changes or corrections to the minutes? So all in favor of approving the minutes, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same. So motion is approved. Next item is appearance of citizens. Here he is.
I'm here. I got caught downstairs. Wouldn't let me up the elevator.
Okay, I don't think we have any citizens out there, so we'll move on to approval of agenda. Do I have a motion to approve the agenda?
Motion to approve.
And I second.
Second by Ms. Capshaw, all right. Any changes or any corrections, any additions to the agenda? Having none, let's say all in favor of approving the agenda, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same. And that motion is approved. Okay, we're on to election of chairman and vice chairman. And we'll first do the nomination of the chairman.
Nominate Bob Smallridge as chair.
Second.
Okay. Commissioner Allen moves for Bob Smallridge to be chair and seconded by Commissioner Foster. I don't think a second is needed for nomination.
And I just wanted to put my 2 cents in.
Any additional nominations for chairman? Okay, I need a motion to, I guess, to close the nominations.
I make
And we
that
do need a
motion.
second for this
Yeah,
one.
and to elect by acclamation. So.
I make that motion to elect by acclamation, close the nomination to elect Bob Smallridge by acclamation.
I'll second it.
And you've heard the motion. All those in favor of closing the nominations, say aye.
Aye.
No opposed? Okay, that passes, and now I guess we have to vote for, in this case, myself. All in favor of Commissioner Smallridge to be chairman, say aye.
Aye.
And opposed, same sign? Okay. So we'll now go through the, okay, we're done now. We'll go through the same process for election of the vice chairman. Do I have a motion?
Anybody else want to serve? I don't care. I'm vice chair now, but if somebody else wants to serve,
You want to serve? You want?
I'm fine with serving as vice chair.
I nominate Michael Foster as vice chair.
And I
for the
second.
Rules Committee.
But if somebody else wanted to, I'm fine with not serving. That's why
You're
I
good.
just kind of wanted to look around and see if anybody else was
You're
interested.
good.
So.
You're good.
Okay, you've heard the motion. Is there any additional nominations for vice chairman? No? Okay, there's been a motion to close the nominations for vice chairman. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Same sign? Okay, so now the vote is to elect Commissioner Foster as vice chairman. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Same sign? Okay. All right. I was ready to hand over the gavel, but I didn't.
Hand it back to yourself.
Okay, now we're moving on to operations report on the full commission agenda, to moving that report to section B following the budget. I think that was a request that came from the full commission in September. All those, all those in favor of that motion to move section up, excuse me, to move the operations report up to following the budget report. Do I have a motion?
Sure, yeah, I'll make that motion, we can discuss it.
Go ahead.
I'll second.
Yeah, for discussion purposes, otherwise,
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm not in favor of this. I mean, the rules are pretty clear, what we have already, and you put it out of there. I mean, the reason it falls where it does, department heads, the only reason budget falls where it does is because Robbie gives that report as a department head. So, I mean, we put our elected officials first, then the department heads, which is, the only one that ever has to do that is Robbie, because he does the budget report. It pretty much is the next thing anyways, right after that. And I know he said, I mean, Commissioner McCaney has always been a proponent of moving this up, because people are sitting in the audience. We have business to take care of. That's a report that comes, like, I like it where it is. That's my 2 cents. I just don't, like, you know, most of the times there's action comes out of it. It's the first one on the committee reports, and there's not a ton of, the only other thing ahead of it's the law director's report. And, I mean, we want to move it above that, but the law director report's part of that report anyway, so it's really not even above it. It's all in that same thing. So that's just my thoughts. I'm not a fan of moving it.
Yeah, I do agree with that. It's where it needs to be for, you know, the purposes. A lot of things come out of the budget report, you know, so I think it should stay there. I mean, maybe during the meeting, somebody may want to move it, but for all practical purposes, let it alone, let it alone.
Commissioner Capshaw, any comments?
You all have great arguments as to why it stays, so I see no reason in changing it. With
I have,
those-
honestly, I have no strong feeling one way or the other
Yeah.
about it, so, but it sounds like it's not gonna pass anyway.
Well,
So-
and just go back, I mean, like, in the elected official reports, usually, I mean, the mayor has a report, but that goes through operations a lot of times, or budget, if not both, because she might have something on either. So she gives her report, then we go to Dr. Parrott's right after budget, I guess, he does right after budget, school system usually after budget,
Yeah.
or not after, it was after, budget, because Robbie does budget, so right after budget, so, I mean, it's not gonna save that much time, because then Dr. Parrott's report, usually it's whatever questions we have, right? It's
Yeah.
not like he's got a big presentation for us. I just don't see a point of moving it, that's just my, like I said, I kind of restate my same point, but.
Yeah. Okay, well, we do have a motion. The motion is to move it up following budget. Any further discussion? Okay, all those in favor of the motion say aye. And those opposed, same sign?
No.
No.
No,
No.
so that stays.
Okay. Next item is standardized agenda requested by Commissioner Foster.
Yeah, so this is not my thoughts. I was Commissioner, Chairwoman now, Chairman, Denise, I want to call her Denise because that's what I always call her. But Chairman Palmer had asked about it, and I think a lot of it came, and she had another meeting where she couldn't be here. I had texted her earlier if she was going to be here. She was hoping to get here in time. But I think it's just some of our committees and like the library board, they're not all the same looking agendas, right? So we kind of got a little bit better about it with committees, you know, especially with like the appearance of citizens. That's something now that's on everybody's agenda, but where it's located. And so that was just kind of her thoughts on it, that we need to kind of have a standard agenda for all our committees to follow, kind of like we do with the full commission agenda. We have certain things go certain places. I can't speak on a ton because I don't know I know one was the library board that she had some concerns with, but I don't know if that's changed any with, is Commissioner Val the chairman?
Yes.
Okay, of that committee now. So budget committee kind of, it's its own, but you still got the appearance of citizen approval agenda. So like I said, she's not here. I put it on the agenda because I thought she'd be here. But that's just kind of why I requested it, because we had had some conversations about it, previously. So, just that we would want all the agendas to, no matter what committee, they all look the same. So when people, appearance of citizens, approval agenda, those kind of things, but she would have more details than I would on that, so we can defer that
Okay.
till next month if y'all, and if she shows up before the meeting's over, then we'll bring it back up.
Yeah.
So I'll make a motion to table it until the end, and then we can defer it,
Okay.
Okay.
just in case she does show up.
Any further discussion on this item? And see, I need you made the motion, I need a second.
Second.
Okay. Now, any further discussion? Okay, all those in favor of deferring the item to table the item, say aye, please.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, now we're on to unfinished business. Rule 17, signs, posters, and placards. And this is where channel 86, excuse me, yeah. Channel 95, I don't know where I got 86, but.
We're 1083 now anyway.
Yeah, you're not on 95 anyway, you're on demand.
I think that was your.
Yeah, that, I think originally this was brought up by Commissioner Mays when he was on this committee, but one of the things we talked about, at one of our meetings previously was on Channel 95, when somebody comes up and speaks at the at the podium, blacking it out or doing something where it's not going to audio only, just no video, during any of the time that somebody speaks. And so I know when it got brought up at operations or full agenda, full commission, I know Andy had some questions for us, and so then we brought back the rules, and this is the first time that Andy, I think we didn't have a meeting the next month, and then the following month that you were here, that we did have a meeting, you were gone, that the other guy worked it. So that's where it's kind of, and it has to do with like promoting, an elected, especially as we get ready to go into election season. Certainly we've had some people that are already candidates for positions to get up and wear, so-and-so for sheriff or so-and-so for this. So we would like to have y'all's thoughts, if it's even possible, what's not,
So when Andy did bring this up in June to me, we started doing some research on it. And we had encountered something like this when former director of law director Yeager was with us. And it was probably, I think Andy and I were figuring about 15 years ago when this came up. So I had to go refresh everything. So we looked into what governs us as an EG, Educational Government Channel. And that's, of course, the same thing that governs you guys, Open Meetings Act, as well as the Sunshine Law. And here's what I found with specifics to that. If a EG channel is being used to broadcast the meeting, the public must be able to continually observe all open portions of that meeting. The only time when going black might be allowed would be in an executive session. We've always closed those executive sessions. If the body properly votes the executive session is closed, it can go black. At that point, the EG channel can lawfully cut video and audio. We usually throw up a slide that says executive session. And typically, the EG channel shows meeting in session. Coverage will resume shortly. And then, based on content-based censoring, which is 47 U.S. Code 531 of the FCC Policy Act, which is what governs EG channels, we can no content editing of government meetings beyond routine technical production problems. So no content-based censorship, example, muting or blacking out of a speaker or topic may happen. Full recording retention of the meeting must be available for public record, which is on YouTube and as well as ACTV. If a portion must be redacted for legal reasons, which we can do that, but we have to have a court order that tells us that it's a privacy issue and it must be formally logged and justified by a judicial member So we can't, unfortunately, due to those laws, edit anything that happens.
So if it, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I agree. I'm an advocate for, open meetings, and I think we're going to get into a ball of yarn if we're constantly trying to have the TV station black things out based on what someone is wearing. That's a little bit too much responsibility. Suppose he blacks something out or doesn't black something out, and he should have, well, he gets blamed for this, blamed for it. So we should leave it alone and be governed by these rules here and not try to massage things around because someone has a Coach Jennings t-shirt on or a Barker t-shirt on. We're getting into a territory where we're trying to force people what to wear. If they are wearing something inappropriate, our chairwoman needs to call that to attention. But to have these guys trying to censor that, I think that's beyond what our rules allow us to do.
Yes.
I just, clarification, if we did no video, or sorry, if we do video, you have to video everything? Is that what that?
That's correct, yes.
Okay, I just didn't know if it was, as long as they're audio too, you don't cut out the audio. And that's kind of what we had discussed, like that the camera would just, during the talking part of audience edition, we wouldn't go black as in like cut it off. We would just turn off the video, we'd just have audio still going.
I don't think that we can do
Okay,
that
and that's
according to law.
Okay, and that's fine. That's where, want a clarification on that, if there was even.
We have no, actually, Andy and I discussed it. We have no preference either way. It's just we want to make sure that we're abiding by
Yeah.
what
And
we're set forth to do.
To the commissioner's point, I wouldn't want to go pick and choose what,
I understand.
who we're blacking out. It would just
Yeah.
be all audience,
Yeah.
like time at the podium. Still would hear them, there would be no visual. But if that, you can't do it legally, we can't.
I think you end up getting the rooms packed out pretty heavy, and people are disagreeing with it as well.
I think so too.
Yes.
So I had a question. I think we talked about it before, but I just want to make sure. So when people do, if they do come with the campaign paraphernalia, we do have to make sure they have equal time. So say one particular candidate does come up to the podium and talk, are we keeping track of if they do, or we're just gonna have to give
We're
them
not
equal time?
governed by. So if we were doing a talk show, let's say that
Yeah.
I hosted
just-
Anderson County Today or whatever, and I had one of the candidates in, then I would have to as well have the other candidate in equal time. As well, radio is governed by the same rule. When it's an open government meeting, it doesn't abide by those same rules.
Right.
So if we had a candidate in here that wanted to get up and speak about the color of the grass in a certain area of the county not being appropriate, then we could not say, well, then their opponent has the right to speak equal time in front of the commission, because it's not this is a open meeting where the other thing is an entertainment broadcast.
Thank you for
Yeah.
clarifying that, 'cause
Which we've actually had to cut segments. We used to do a program called Ciderville Music for a while until David West was not able to do that anymore. And we had a candidate who was running for, what was she running for, school board, I think?
City council.
City council, and we had to cut her segment because we couldn't give her opponent equal time, even though she was just singing, old bluegrass songs. So we had to cut that segment out. Now we could have aired that segment after the election was over, but we couldn't during the election period.
Was the candidate wearing any kind of paraphernalia, like a shirt?
Did she have a button on or something? No. No. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, see, that's where we're getting into this, difficulty where someone is talking about the green grass and they stand up wearing a Vote For Me t-shirt.
Right.
I think that's perfectly legitimate, but we cannot just keep censoring people by what they're wearing, is what this rule is saying.
Right. I don't think that based on the clothing that they have on, I would think as an establishment of a rule would be better to say that no, if you wanted to say no political t-shirts in this room would probably be more fitting, because what if you guys wanted to wear a shirt of your own or a button of your own, then how do you get around us censoring that if so we really can't. But
which is where.
Yeah, yeah, it kinda gets in
came
the-
from,
Yeah.
because
Yeah,
We've
yeah.
had commissioners in the past that have worn their button. which
Yeah,
Our
yeah.
rules can't apply. I think us saying no, and we have no posters, no signs, I think it'd be hard to say no shirts.
Yeah.
You know, that, I think that, you know, you're kind of, signs and posters can be a distraction and blocking camera views and other things.
What was strange is, and we dealt with this one time very early on in the process of ACTV, was we are not even governed by obscenity law in these meetings. So if you decided to use the words that are not allowed on television in this room, we cannot edit those words out. If somebody decided to expose themselves in this room, they could as well do that. And there's
Bob,
actually
don't be doing that, okay?
I'm not encouraging that by any means. We may not re-air that particular meeting afterwards, but there was an instance in this.
Can't blur it.
Yeah, you can't, because it was called embarrassment or something like that. They called it in legalese in here, that we couldn't restrict certain things when they went to enforcing things that happened embarrassingly. Like if somebody had a booger or something like that, we can't change that.
I think we've got to rely on
Yeah.
the commission or the chairman to set,
Yeah.
you know, not, you guys really can't have anything to do with that. But we can, as a commission and the chairman, right, we can set some rules. If somebody stands up there and starts using really bad language.
Absolutely.
Which
Yeah.
we've done, you know, I mean,
Yeah, which we've
Mr.
done,
Mays,
yeah.
the chairman, he
Yes, he did.
calmed people down. All right, I appreciate you coming.
Hey, look,
in,
happy
kinda
to,
clarifying,
happy to.
Oh,
Good to know that, thank you.
Yeah.
could you introduce yourself for the audience? I don't think they.
Oh yeah, my name is Ryan Sutton. I'm the PR and Communications Director at Anderson County Schools, as well as ACTV Station Director.
Are we on TV today?
Yeah,
For
Yep.
Bulls? No.
just this time, yeah.
Sorry, I've not been talking to the mic because we don't usually, my bad, people at home.
I could hear you fine.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Okay,
Thank
thank
you.
you, thank you. Okay, that brings us down to Rule 9, all references to purchasing committee be replaced with budget committee.
Which I thought we dealt with this already. Did we not deal with that?
I thought it was a carryover, but
It maybe is, that's why I just thought we fixed the language on that last meeting, but.
was it something to do with even though the commission approved it, we had to do it? I may be wrong.
Yeah, so under new business, I thought we took action on it.
We took action?
Well, it says we discussed, but no action was taken. I thought we took action. So I will make I'll make the motion that we change all references to purchase committee under Rule 9 to budget committee.
A second.
Okay. This discussion, questions?
Was the law director gonna get us some language? Is that why maybe it got no action taken? He was gonna clean that up, cause we kinda made him, anybody remember? No.
Yeah, and I originally, he couldn't be here
Today.
today,
Yeah.
so we could,
There's 8 references to purchasing in the second paragraph. Is that what we're talking about? Making those changes there?
Yeah, cause there were some things that we just didn't need anymore, because those are joint committees.
Yeah.
So I would just, I will make the motion that we change all references and that the law director draft language is for full commission, so we can take action on it on Monday.
we need to do something, the motion on the floor.
I'm gonna amend my motion without, if who was, your second, are you good with that? Okay.
Okay, so we're gonna vote on the amendment now, right?
We're both agreed, so we don't have to vote on the amendment.
Okay, just
It
we're
changed the
voting on
full, I'm gonna change my full motion.
You've heard the motion, all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, we're down to new business, any new business? I'm sorry,
Yeah,
yeah,
we
okay.
tabled,
Yeah, we tabled something and we'll,
Yep.
we tabled one
Okay.
waiting on Denise to
I
come.
guess we're ready to adjourn.
nope,
No,
we're gonna bring
no.
up our table action.
You remember we
'Cause
tabled
Com-
a motion?
Chairwoman Castile, Palmer, I'm struggling today. I used to have a Denise Castile that worked for me, so, or worked, that was city council when I was at the city. Flashback.
Well, I really,
I would on, this is on the standardized agendas.
sure. So, if you look at all of the different committees that we have, the agendas look different, the minutes look different, and if we're following Robert's Rules of Order for all of our committees, then all of those agendas and all of the minutes should look alike. Realize that we have different people that take the minutes and that sort of thing. So I just wondered, I haven't drafted anything. I just think we're supposed to follow Robert's Rules of Order on that. So what do we need to do to make that happen? Is there something, I've not researched this, so is there something that was passed back in the day that said we do whatever, or do we just automatically fall under Robert's Rules of Order for the agenda and now our full commission agenda follows our rules. Our rules has that set up, but everything else should follow Robert's Rules of Order, and the minutes should also. So, just something to think about, I guess, and what do we need to do? Put that in the rules, or what?
Yeah, and I mean, if we're going to standardize, I would think we'd want to apply our full commission rules to all committees that are
Okay,
commissioned committees. The question is, can we enforce that on the library board? I don't know.
Oh,
Like,
on the boards,
because
okay.
those are not commissioned committees.
Okay.
I think our rules apply to us, and our committees are full commission committees, but like beer board, there's a lot of boards that commissioners sit on, but they're not committees that are or
Right.
boards of,
Right.
the commission. So I think we can still, so I don't know, I don't think we can do anything with those besides they're supposed
Okay.
to follow Robert Rules Order. That's a law director question. I am not a lawyer. That will be the first thing I reference. So maybe have him, we could, defer it and let him look at this and see. But I do think we could do it for all our committees, because I think our rules guide us first, and then go to Robert Rules of Order.
okay,
Yeah, I think we need to do a little research.
Okay.
Yeah.
yeah.
And if you got samples, but I would think, I know,
I really don't, and I really didn't realize it, I think, until I was taking the minutes. And then I was in charge of, printing those. And so I was looking at other committees for guidance, and they all do it differently. And I know it's different people, so that's kind of what started the conversation. Should we standardize those, the agenda and the minutes? Should it follow like what full commission does, or do we just simply fall back on Robert's Rules of Order? So, but I have not done anything. I've just was asking the question, and I think it would be helpful if we did have a format that we followed. It would be probably a lot easier on Annette if there was just a template, like a template where you could plug in and not have to, worry about what everybody thought.
Yeah, I think a template would be ideal. That would definitely standardize things for
Yeah.
us. And I've seen other committees or other bodies, they have templates, and it's a lot easier to read the minutes and go through things quickly when you have to, because they're in a standardized form.
Yeah, it is.
Okay. Michael, do you want to make a motion to?
Yeah, we'll defer, I'd make the motion, we defer it to next meeting. I won't say next month, so next meeting, because and let the law director look at that and do some research related to standardizing agenda and minutes, because that's been another issue, and where we can apply that to.
Second?
I second. And Annette may have some feedback too. She may have some, something to add to that as well. So maybe she can speak with the law director.
Okay. Any further discussion or questions? All those in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Okay, so any other new business? I guess that wasn't new business. Okay, I guess we stand adjourned. Okay, thank you.
Look at that, that was less than an hour. Look at that.
Emotion.
Chairwoman Castile.